Moments ago, a moment of silence was observed in honor of the victims of the deadly shooting at a synagogue here in Pittsburgh yesterday. 11 people died. 6 others, including 4 police officers, were injured in the attack at the Tree of Life congregation. Pittsburgh teams and athletes responded with an outpouring of support for the community. We join them in sharing our condolences for the victims and their loved ones. And hopefully today, football can provide a small escape for this city. We're ready for the opening kickoff here at Heinz Field. Pittsburgh won the toss. They have deferred. And Chris Boswell will kick it off for the Steelers. Return man Jabril Peppers back there, and Dontrell Hilliard for Cleveland. Baker Mayfield is getting into the right mental mindset. He likes going on the road, Dan. He said that feeling of it's us against the world, that works for him.
Yeah, this is the world of Steeler Nation.
Returnable for Hilliard. Hilliard finds a lane. Flags come down, and Hilliard gets across midfield, but 2 penalty markers around the 30-yard line were tossed almost simultaneously.
Yeah, it looks like Orson Charles, the fullback for the Browns, may have been called for holding.
Carl Cheffers' crew in charge here. They are 10th in the NFL in total penalties this year amongst the crews.
Holding, number 82, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So it is Charles. And Mayfield and the Browns offense will open up Baker Mayfield. In college, his completion percentage was 68%. So far in his rookie season, it's 58%.
Yeah, he said he will bring energy and passion today. He knows not to overthink things against this blitzing Steeler defense. Key for him, he said, is to eliminate the negative plays, stay ahead of the down and distance. Motto today is let it fly. Go do it.
First meeting of the season was week 1. It was a tie. Tyrod Taylor played QB that day. Swing it out. Duke Johnson. So they said they wanted to get Duke Johnson more involved. They do right away with an 8-yard catch and run. Hargrave with the tackle for Pittsburgh. Offensive lineman for Cleveland up front. And Treader was a little bit of a question mark, but he's okay with that ankle injury. And the wide receiving core, it's a bit thin. Antonio Callaway, his numbers have dropped off after a pretty good start to the season. Jarvis Landry has been targeted 82 times. That's second in the NFL.
And amazingly, just has 41 catches out of those 82 targets.
2nd and 2 for the Browns. Mayfield, floater, caught by Johnson. First down. So we know that the trade to Carlos Hyde has allowed Nick Chubb to become the starter, but now problems for Duke Johnson on the second play from scrimmage.
Well, this is a blitz by the corner, Mike Hilton, smartly throwing over the top as Mayfield. Let's see where the injury may have occurred here.
He was grabbing at his leg.
Well, this is a disastrous start for the Browns after 2 positive plays by Johnson.
Cody Sensabaugh came flying in. Sensabaugh getting the start for Artie Burns, who's been struggling.
It just shows just how versatile and explosive Johnson can be when he's out in space. We go back to the first play of the game.
Johnson's up. He's limping. So that was the first catch and run by Johnson. He remained in there, the tackle by Hargrave. And even there, Johnson was struggling a bit.
Appears he's trying to stretch out a muscle there in the leg. And of course, that's a nightmare for any running back or skilled receiver. Muscle pulls.
And this was the second play where he got a knee in a sensitive area from Sensabaugh. So Chubb is in. Chubb breaks 1 tackle, dives forward for 4. They have liked what they've seen from Nick Chubb, rookie out of Georgia. currently leading all running backs in yards per carry. Defensively for Pittsburgh, getting back to what the Steelers' D is all about. Although when we asked Hugh Jackson about all the different looks that you've seen through the years, he said, well, it's not quite the same look as previous Pittsburgh defenses under Dick LeBeau.
Yeah, it all is dictated by personnel. The personnel has changed.
Mayfield, high throw. It's incomplete. And the rush was coming on Baker Mayfield. He got rid of it in a hurry.
Yeah, but Dupree almost got to Mayfield before he got this ball out. Totally unblocked, number 48 coming. And does a good job of avoiding the penalty, but trying to squeeze that ball into Chubb. Breakdown in the pass protection for the Browns could be really disastrous if Mayfield has to take another shot like that.
And it sets up 3rd and 6. 24 consecutive road losses for the Browns. Mayfield out of the pocket, throwing on the move, and he hits his man in stride. It's Ratley. Damian Ratley's got a first down for the Browns.
Well, we talked about Mayfield's mobility and how he likes to slide out of the pocket here. Keeps his eyes down the field as he scrambles, gets close to the line of scrimmage, but finds Ratley for a huge gain of 21 yards. It's a little bit of a bobble there by Ratley, but he corrals it in time.
Rookie out of Texas A&M. He's come on of late.
Under.
10th catch of the year. Browns are in Pittsburgh territory. Nick Chubb redirects. Chubb slicing across the 35. Quality run by Chubb. Hit by another rookie, Terrell Edmonds. 8 yards on the play.
So Todd Haley going with the power back here in Chubb. Great move there on Dupree. And then the jump cut to the outside to get around Hayward.
And a Heinz Field homecoming for the bearded one, Todd Haley. Spent the last 6 years calling the plays here in Pittsburgh. This is a 2nd and 2 for Cleveland. Fake it. Mayfield. Line drive to the sideline. Handled by Callaway, and a first down for the Browns. Joe Hayden, the former Brown, in coverage, 13 yards.
This really shows off the arm strength of Mayfield. He can really zip it out of there after the play action fake, the timing here, and the position of the ball away from Hayden results in this big completion for Callaway.
Hugh Jackson said Mayfield's got a cannon, and even though the completion numbers aren't where they expect them to be, it's not his fault altogether. Toss it underneath. Jarvis Landry trying to make something happen, and Alu makes the tackle. It's a loss of 1 on the play. By the way, Duke Johnson Jr. was back in there for Cleveland.
Has 42 catches on the year now for Jarvis Landry, wearing number 80 because of his idol, Jerry Rice.
9th play of the drive. Johnson will head back to the sideline. 10 straight games without scoring a touchdown in the first quarter. It's the longest active streak in the NFL. Chubb back in. Motion man is Callaway. On 2nd and long, toss it to Callaway. Hit from behind as he crosses the 15. So they're knocking on the door here. 8 yards. Chickalow will get credit for the stop.
Now, this is a 9-play drive so far, 2 rushes and 7 passes. Mayfield looking very sharp with his ball handling, his faking of the play action. And that was a nice run and good blocking out in front for Callaway by Damian Ratley.
You asked Baker Mayfield, what has he learned about the NFL early on? He said all the little things matter, all the attention to details, timing on the routes, depth of the routes. 3rd and 3. Nothing there. Johnson hit behind the line of scrimmage by Mike Hilton, leading the charge. And a loss of 3. The Browns will have to settle for a field goal attempt.
Mike Hilton is 5'9", 184 pounds. Look as he finds the hole in the offensive line. Such an adept defender at getting pressure on the quarterback and blitzes. That time the run blitz results in a 3rd down stop.
It is a 34-yard attempt for Greg Joseph, born in South Africa. but moved to the States, lived in Florida, and knocks it through. 11 plays for the Browns, but only 3 points to show for it. The streak is still alive. No touchdown in the first. Steelers offense will take the field coming up. First points the Browns have scored on an opening drive this season. They've got a 3-0 lead on Pittsburgh. Mayfield went 6 of 7 on the drive, 57 yards. So, Hugh Jackson's squad will kick it off with Greg Joseph. Ryan Switzer is the deep man for Pittsburgh. Steelers coming off the bye. They had that exciting 28-21 last-second win over Cincinnati back in Week 6. Mike Tomlin's team 7-4 following the bye week. This is returnable for Switzer. Switzer is dumped as he crossed the 20 and a flag thrown on the return. Hit by Vallejo. Jackson pointing in Pittsburgh's direction. The Browns were penalized 14 times last week for 114 yards. These two teams came in today, the highest penalized teams in the league.
Return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
And just like the Browns had to start backed up after a penalty on the opening kickoff, the Steelers and Big Ben will do the same.
The career record against the Browns is scintillating for Ben Roethlisberger. 3 interceptions, though, in that first meeting.
Yep. Yeah, well, he knows that Greg Williams' defense is very good, obviously, at the takeaways. Ball security vital. The Browns lead the league in takeaways and turnover differential.
You know, one thing that has really stood out last few games for Pittsburgh, the offensive line. Protecting Ben, no sacks the last 2 games, and also providing a push in the run game for Connor.
And they're comfortable with Matt Filer taking the spot of Marcus Gilbert, who's out with a knee injury.
So the ball will be at the 11-yard line. The sun has come out. It is bright here at Heinz Field. You mentioned it, no Marcus Gilbert. Filer steps in for him. Gilbert out with a knee issue. Tomlin believes he will be back next week for the meeting against Baltimore. Roethlisberger, quick hitter on a low throw to Brown. And a modest gain. Derek Kindred was over there, and a flag on the play. We could have a flag fest. If you're just looking at the numbers this season, it's haunted both Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
There's no foul on the play. Number 76 reported as an eligible receiver.
Or we could have flags that mean nothing.
Well,
it could go either way.
Well, and that flag was thrown by Mike Spanier, who's taking the down judge position from Hugo Cruz, who was fired this week by the NFL.
And that's a rarity. You don't see officials let go during the season very often.
Although you would like to see a few of them let
well,
go.
I mean, that's your perspective, Dan. Roethlisberger slings a pass underneath. Vance McDonald weaving through traffic. Roethlisberger loves McDonald and what he brings to this offense.
Yeah, he gives him a big play receiver, a running back after the catch. You saw there a good move to get down the field, and then the power to take on tacklers.
So Filer in at right tackle, second year.
Great nickname. They call him the Anchor. 330 pounds.
Out of Bloomsburg, Division II, here in Pennsylvania. 3rd and 1. Connor sticks the helmet down, and a flag is thrown late. Connor got enough for the first down, but a penalty marker on the play. Off to a slow start here in Pittsburgh. Hugh Jackson's got the officiating hat on today.
Illegal block in the back. Number 85 offense. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat 3rd down.
It is Xavier Grimble.
That is such an unusual call on a short yardage run where all the players are kind of mashed in there trying to get Connor the first down.
Well, we asked Mike Tomlin, what do you want to see coming off the bye week? I just want to see improvement in specific ways. Situational game awareness, the knowledge of the game being exhibited by the players. Cleveland will come out with a nickel look on a 3rd and 11 after the penalty. Steelers had the first down. Roethlisberger, toss it. Juju Smith-Schuster has nowhere to go, and the Browns defense holds up. Some chatter after the play.
And a lot of chatter in the stands, too, on that 3rd and long, going with a very conservative wide receiver screen that didn't get him much.
TJ Carey sniffs it out for the Browns.
The Browns should get great field position after this punt.
So they had the penalty on the kickoff. That brought them back. Penalty after the first down run. And the Steelers will now boot it away with Jordan Berry. Jabril Peppers. He fumbled a punt return in overtime last week. That set up the game-winning score for Tampa Bay. Catanzaro, a 59-yard field goal. Peppers flagged out. I probably just want to put that on tape so I don't have to keep saying it. 47-yard punt and a 12-yard return.
And our guy Mike Spanier is getting a workout as he threw the flag on that play.
Illegal block in the back during the return. Number 25 return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
And
Timeout.
it's Hilliard. I think Hugh disagrees. 6:52 to play in the first. 3-0 lead for the Browns.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Domino's. Order online at Domino's.com. Uber. Doors are always opening. And by Verizon. The best unlimited is on Verizon, America's most awarded network.
It's a category you want no part of, but Cleveland and Pittsburgh are neck and neck in most penalties this season. Browns take over at their own 40-yard line. They have a 3-0 lead on the Steelers. Mayfield airs it out, a deep ball, and not even close to Jarvis Landry in a matchup with Sensabaugh.
That's really not Landry's strength, is burning it down the sidelines, and more of the possession receiver over the middle, reading the zones. That time they took a shot, and Cody Sensabaugh was all over that, and Baker Mayfield made a smart throw, throwing it beyond both of them.
Yeah, we asked Landry about Mayfield. He said, well, he's a winner. I did a little background check on him. His charisma, his personality, everybody talked about that, and he said the guys feed off of it. 2nd and 10. Fake it, toss it to Callaway. And he's tripped up, flagged out. Another one. Little extra conversation between Sensabaugh and Desmond Harrison of Cleveland. I'm hoping Carl Cheffers brought some lozenges.
Well, Desmond Harrison just tackled Sensabaugh.
Holding, number 69. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
I mean, this is a ridiculous play by the rookie. Watch him with the left arm just reach out on Sensabaugh and pull him backwards.
I would recommend Ricolas. That's just me. But you want to keep the larynx moist.
Well, you are a pro at, at a lot of things.
That's my expertise. 6:28 to go here in the first. And now it's 2nd and 17 after the penalty. Shotgun. Mayfield throws to the outside, and it's through the hands of Callaway. Joe Hayden in coverage. JB and Nate Burleson. NFL Today update.
Nate's Lions.
That's right, Marvin Jones got me feeling like Marvin Gaye. Let's get it on. How about this 39-yard TD from Matt Stafford? Lions making some plays. Marvin Jones, the recipient.
Well, you know what? It is Music City Nate. Back to Iron Eagle.
Now the end zone is Marvin Groom in Detroit. And it's tight in the NFC North with Minnesota, Green Bay, the Lions, and the Bears all bunched together. 3rd and 17. Mayfield out of the pocket. Throws on the move. Offline. Rashad Perriman, the intended target, and the newest member of the wide receiving corps for Cleveland. It's 4th down.
Well, you're seeing a lot of different types of blitzes coming at Mayfield, making him uncomfortable. On the previous play, he beat the blitz with a good throw to Callaway, who couldn't make the catch. That time, the pressure forced him out of the pocket, and he threw errantly to Perriman.
It's rare when we sit down with head coaches that they bring up the opposing punter, but Mike Tomlin did and said Britton Colquitt has been tremendous this season. Switzer from the 15, stutter step. Switzer turns it upfield. Working the sideline, and Switzer out of bounds. 23-yard return after the 52-yard kick. Steelers have the football, trailing 3-0 when we come back. Tonight, meet the whistleblower who copied hundreds of incriminating documents from a bishop's secret archive. Find out what's in them, plus who is Yap. See and hear him only on 60 Minutes tonight. First down for Pittsburgh, just shy of the 40-yard line. 6:04 to go here in the opening quarter. Roethlisberger operating out of the shotgun. Roethlisberger lost it, picks it up, and goes down. Couldn't break away from Trevon Coley on the play, and it's a loss of 1. It'll go down as a sack for the Cleveland D. Let's check in with Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, something worth keeping an eye on with this offense for the Steelers. A bit of a different look. Justin Hunter's getting a big opportunity in this game. The rookie, James Washington, a healthy scratch. They're giving Hunter a shot here. Ben telling us that he pulled him into a room this week and said, this is a chance for you to grab this position. They've been searching for production from it, and this might be his last opportunity.
All right, Evan, we'll keep an eye on Hunter, the 6-year veteran, formerly with Tennessee, Miami, and Buffalo. Connor, a collision at the 40, still going. By the way, on the previous play, they determined that it was incomplete for Ben. 4-yard pickup for Connor, hit by Collins as those two collided.
Well, that is an interesting development, though, for the Steelers, because James Washington is another one of those young guys who hasn't done anything wrong yet or anything really very great, according to Coach Fiechner. He just needs something good to happen. But with Hunter, opportunity, and he must strike.
Tall target at 6'4", 203. This is a 3rd and 6 for the Steelers. Roethlisberger looks, glanced up in the air and picked off. It's intercepted by Kindred. Ben Roethlisberger continues to have problems with this Cleveland D.
He's trying to force the ball, and Christian Kirksey is right there to knock this ball up into the air. There's just no way that Smith-Schuster was open on that play.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Progressive Insurance, handing off big savings to you. And by Chipotle, for real.
Rough start for the Steelers. Browns trying to take advantage. Give it to Chubb. Nick Chubb bursting through. Chubb's got a first down into Pittsburgh territory. He is a load and runs hard at 5'11", 227, 20-yard run.
Go back to the interception. It appears that this was supposed to be a screen pass to Vance McDonald. Both receivers are down blocking Smith-Schuster on Kirksey, and Ben didn't like the look out to McDonald, and the second career interception for Kindred.
And the Browns are in business at the Pittsburgh 36.
Hey, yeah, 5-1, push it.
Chubb remains in there. He gets the call. Chubb cuts through that hole. Hit by Sean Davis. That's another strong run by Chubb. 11 yards. He's got 4 carries for 43 yards already.
Now let's check out left guard Joe Bitonio here as he gets out in front. It was going to knock Vince Williams out of the hole. And Chubb takes advantage. Back-to-back big runs.
First down for the Browns. They do it again. Chubb couldn't shed the tackler. And the Steelers swarm Chickalo. A loss of 2 for Cleveland.
Now, after having success running Chubb up the middle between the tackles, trying to go wide, and Chickalo with good speed, but he had a lot of help there as they dropped Chubb for a couple-yard loss.
The Browns lead the NFL in turnover differential. They are now at a plus 11 with 21 takeaways this season.
And 4 picks of Roethlisberger.
Well, the offense has scored just 4 touchdowns in the last 3 games. Trying to change that. 2nd and 12. Play action. Mayfield tosses it away. So now it's 3rd and long. Pressure from Hayward and Chickillo for Pittsburgh.
Now this the pressure is getting to Mayfield on almost every time he goes back to pass. The offensive line having a lot of difficulty trying to figure out Keith Butler's blitzing schemes. He's brought linebackers on almost every obvious passing play. And it's been effective. Mayfield started 6 out of 7. Since then, just 1 out of 5.
Nickel package here for Pittsburgh. 3rd and 12 for the Browns. Mayfield. Nearly intercepted by Chickillo. 4th down. He was trying to squeeze it into Duke Johnson.
Well, watch number 56 read the eyes of the quarterback Mayfield. That ball was going to be thrown behind Duke Johnson anyway into a real big crowd. If Chickillo makes this catch, you see there's nothing in front of him except the goal line.
So it will be Greg Joseph. An attempt of 45 yards to tack 3 on the board. Joseph. He nails it. 6-0 lead for the Browns. We'll come back in 30 seconds after this from Progressive Insurance. Steelers have gone 21-4 against rookie QBs since 2004. And the number's 22 touchdowns for those QBs, 24 interceptions. They're trying to show Baker Mayfield some things that he's never seen before.
Well, and for the Browns to handle all these different blitzes, they must continue to pound the ball with Chubb. Chubb has been effective, 5 carries for 41 yards, and that would discourage any type of blitzing.
It's a touchback coming out to the 25-yard line for Pittsburgh. Well, on Tuesday, members of the Steelers took part in the 10th annual Healthy Cooking Demo at UPMC Magee Women's Hospital. The players were split into teams, showcased their love for food by competitively cooking for breast cancer survivors and current patients at the hospital. Steelers trail here 6-0 against the Browns. Roethlisberger has 7 picks this season, 4 against Cleveland. James Conner, he coughed up the football. Conner was twisting and turning, trying to get extra yards. And it looked like that ball came free. Steelers have it.
His big fullback, Roosevelt Nixon, the bottom of the pile with the football. This is the 3rd fumble of the season for Conner. And see, again, you're talking about him twisting and everything. See the ball get punched out there. Jamie Collins with the right-handed chop.
Well, what did Myles Garrett tell us? Greg Williams every day drills into their head takeaways, every practice, every meeting. Nothing there for Conner. Brings up 3rd and 7 now for Pittsburgh. NFL Today update. We go to JB and NB.
All right, the setup, Nate.
That's right, for the Cincinnati Bengals, the buzz was light this year. Speaking of Buzz Lightyear, here's Andy playing with his toys. Tyler Boyd for the 28-yard setup. Joe Mixon will punch it in. Bengals up 7-0.
Back to Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, and Evan Washburn.
Now, part of the reason why this division, guys, is so competitive. You've got Cincinnati at 4-3. Cleveland enters action at 2-4-1. Easily could have a better record than that. Roethlisberger steps up in trouble. Roethlisberger is sacked. Garrett was looking to punch the football out. Roethlisberger didn't give it up, but he had nothing going on downfield, and Greg Williams' defense is giving Big Ben fits.
And talking to Miles, he says the target on Ben is always the ball. Watch him aim for the ball with that right hand. Roethlisberger smartly covers it up with 2 hands, or this would have been another forced fumble by Myles Garrett.
The Steelers do not have a first down in the first quarter. Jordan Berry will punt it. Peppers waiting for it. Gets a running start at the 31. Peppers, the spin move as he hits the 40, and he's brought down after a few more yards. 14-yard return. We'll come back in 30 seconds after this from Lowe's. On that return, a trip was called against Pittsburgh. So the Browns are going to have outstanding field position to open up this drive at the Steelers' 46-yard line.
You know, coming off a bye, you always wonder about your team and how they're going to respond. And right now, the Steelers appear to still be on their bye.
Yep. Now, the Steelers have been listless in this first quarter. Browns had 8 points total in the first quarter through their first 7 games. They've got 6 today. Mayfield in the pocket. Spins out of trouble. Mayfield trying to set it up downfield. Throws it. Complete. Jarvis Landry with the grab. First down, Cleveland.
TJ Watt had a shot at Baker Mayfield, but Mayfield with a tremendous pirouette under pressure. Watch Watt coming from the left side. And this spin move, actually it's 2 spin moves. He sees Landry, waves to him to come back to him, and Landry smartly makes the catch for 21. A double spinorama.
He did a 720. End of 1. Second quarter is coming up with the Browns leading at 6-0, and they're looking for more in Pittsburgh. Haven't won here in 15 years. Second quarter coming up on CBS. Early season trend for the Steelers. Poor first quarters. Much better in the second quarter. But we have seen no signs of any consistency here for Pittsburgh so far. In that first quarter, they had more penalty yards than they had total yards. Big opportunity here for the Browns. Give it to Chubb. And he spun down. He got tossed at the end of the play. 2 at first, then TJ Watt, a loss of 2.
Well, Baker Mayfield knew he'd be pressured today. He's seen just about everything that Keith Butler has to offer. Linebacker blitzes, corner blitzes, but he's kept his wits about himself, not forcing the ball. And really, this play it really gives you an example of his talent. Finding a way out of the pocket, then finding his receiver down the field.
2nd and 12 for the rookie Mayfield. He's now 8 of 14 for 81 yards. Here they come. Mayfield will just sling it to the sideline with TJ Watt putting heat on the young QB.
Well, Watt got Tyrod Taylor 3 times in game 1 to start the season. Again, it's a linebacker coming at the quarterback unblocked. And so the offensive line and the backs having problems figuring out just what Keith Butler is offering to the young quarterback.
3 career games for Watt against Cleveland. 6 sacks, 1 interception, 24 tackles.
And a blocked field goal.
3rd and 12. Mayfield connects, but short. Jarvis Landry.
And you go back to when he threw that ball away. If he gets tackled there, it may push the Browns out of field goal range.
Yep.
So smartly knowing where they are on the field and not being afraid to just dump the ball out of bounds.
And it sounds like that was a focus in the conversations between Hugh Jackson and Mayfield, because when we talked to the head coach about the sacks, he said, look, Baker cannot take sacks in situations where you have a chance to score points. And he said it's been a combination. Baker holding on to the ball. Protection hasn't always been great. Also, the receivers aren't getting separation. 41-yard attempt. Greg Joseph. It's off. He pushed it to the right, and the Browns come up empty. Joseph had made his first 2 of the day. He misses on number 3. 6-0 Cleveland. The Super Bowl year on CBS. We look back at Super Bowl 43. The Steelers at Arizona in Tampa Bay. End of the first half. Kurt Warner intercepted by James Harrison. Took it 100 yards for the touchdown. Larry Fitzgerald 2 touchdowns in the fourth. Second one gave the Cardinals a late lead, but then this moment. Roethlisberger, Santonio Holmes, tiptoe catch of the corner. Steelers 27-23. Their 6th and most recent Super Bowl title.
In my mind, the greatest catch in Super Bowl history.
Wow.
And that includes the great Lynn Swann.
Roethlisberger on first down, steps up, tries to flip it to Jesse James, and things are out of sync right now for the Pittsburgh offense. All right, here's the thing. When you're kicking in this direction and you miss the field goal at Heinz Field, you have to relive it on the video live. I think he's still staring at the screen. Greg Joseph.
Great camera work.
121 yards for Cleveland, just 16 for Pittsburgh in this first half. They fake it to Switzer. They throw it underneath to Brown. His first touch. And a loss of 1. Denzel Ward sniffed it out. Let's go to New York. NFL Today update. JB and Nate.
A costly mistake.
That's right, a turnover by Alex Collins. If Cam is Superman, then Greg Olsen is Aquaman because he's always swimming in the end zone. 11-yard TD. The Panthers, they're up 14-7.
Ian, Dan, and Evan.
Now the NFC South, New Orleans is rolling, guys, 5-1. But there's Carolina, Tampa Bay at 500. Atlanta trying to stay in that race. 3rd and 11 for the Steelers. Roethlisberger. Catch made. It's Brown. First down, their first of the game.
Really, their first sharp play. Roethlisberger got back quickly, had good protection in the route on the outside as Brown beats the rookie Ward. Good for 15 and a much-needed first down for Pittsburgh.
So they move the chains. Line of scrimmage is now the 45 for the Steelers. Rush coming. Roethlisberger tried to float it. And it's off the hand of Connor.
Yeah, kind of a tough catch for Connor. Came into the game with 26 receptions, 3rd best on the team. But you'd like to see him go up there with both of those gloved hands.
No Le'Veon Bell, of course, losing $855,000 each week that he sits out.
Excuse me?
You heard me. That's real. Roethlisberger, perfectly thrown. Justin Hunter, 12 yards on the catch, and another Pittsburgh first down.
Yeah, great job by Ben to float this over the coverage here. Right in the path there is Body Calhoun, but the ball gently thrown over the top to the hands of Hunter.
Just the second catch of the season for Justin Hunter, 2nd-round pick back in 2013. New set of downs for Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger to throw it again. Pump. Looking for a deep shot. He's got Brown on separation. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger, the floater. 43 yards. Swish.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago that the Steelers were being booed on offense. But there's Ben, always aware where number 84 is. Pumped to the receiver to the inside to get the safety away from Brown. Brown gets behind Denzel Ward for the walk-in.
5th straight game with a touchdown for Antonio Brown. Extra point from Boswell is good. So, Dan, somehow the Steelers are winning. They've been out of sorts, but they've got Ben and they've got Brown, and they've got a touchdown on the board. It's 7-6 Steelers.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Ford. Built Ford proud. Pepsi, the official soft drink of the NFL. And by Applebee's new neighborhood pastas, eaten good in the neighborhood.
The second quarter success continues for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Couldn't do anything on their first 3 drives. They go for a 69-yard drive and a touchdown. Roethlisberger to Brown to take a 7-6 lead. And a touchback for Cleveland.
Well, it's Roethlisberger moving the safety that's key on this play. Watch Kindred right here as Roethlisberger steps up into the pocket. Antonio Brown's going to go down the sideline. It's a zone coverage, so this is not Denzel Ward's man. That's his area, but the pump by Roethlisberger moves the safety, and that's the result. Another touchdown for Antonio Brown.
And now Ben Roethlisberger tied with Fran Tarkenton, 8th place all time in NFL history passing touchdowns. Fichtner gives Roethlisberger his space, then he heads over after Ben gets a look at the pictures and they have a chat. Steelers now lead it 7-6. Mayfield tees it up. Big target. Darren Fells, former professional basketball player. All 6'7" of him with the catch, 6 yards.
Cal Irvine, you know the nickname of the Irvine
They're the
football team?
Anteaters?
Oh, you're all over it.
If I'm going to be all over anything, it's going to be the Anteaters.
Okay, how about UC Santa Cruz?
Wait a second. We're just going to start tossing out California schools?
These schools. The slugs. The banana slugs.
The banana slugs. Nick Chubb to the outside and a first down after the stutter step move. And Chubb has looked very impressive here in the first half. That's another 10 yards on the ground for Chubb.
Well, he's showing what he's got, too. The bounce out here gives you an idea of his vision. Jump cut to the outside. Smartly switching the ball to his outside arm, using his right shoulder to fend off the tackle of Hayden.
Dan, think about what Georgia had at running back, the talent that they've had through the years recently. It's Chubb again. And the spin move by Chubb earns him 2 yards. So Chubb, very mature. Mike Tomlin actually met with him during the draft process and was blown away. Obviously, the Browns jumped all over him as a second-round pick. SEC Player of the Year. He can run between the tackles. He can get to the outside.
He's averaging nearly 7 yards a carry this afternoon.
And that's actually down from a season average of 7.4. 2nd and 7 now for Cleveland. Give it to Johnson. Johnson got hit from behind. That gave him extra yards to the 45. Cameron Hayward in on the stop. NFL Today update. JB and Nate.
Nate, this is like talking about a young Dan Fouts.
That's right, with an arm just as big as his mouth. Here we go. Travis Kelce, 9-yard TD right there. Kansas City, they take the lead 10-7.
Dan didn't talk
Oh,
about that,
yes, he did.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, Ian, I didn't know that.
Dan, you have a retort?
Does he know I'm listening?
Maybe he thought we weren't paying attention to the updates.
I will from now on.
Kansas City 6-1, and Mahomes having a monumental season. Mayfield steps up on 3rd and 5. The tuck and run by Mayfield with reckless abandon into Pittsburgh territory and a first down. 9-yard scramble. Stephon Tuitt with a tackle.
Well, what I like about this is at the end of it, he knows he's going to get contact, but watch him protect the ball. Tucks it under his arm, puts his left hand over the top. Remember the fumble he had last week cost the Browns a first down. 9-yard gain there, but more importantly, into Steeler territory with a first down.
He said Drew Stanton has been a huge help. The 3rd-string quarterback speaks from experience. He's been in a variety of systems around a lot of great players. First down. Give to Chubb. And Chubb was hoping for a little more push on that side, and he's limited to a 2-yard pickup. Baker also mentioned Tyrod Taylor. Said, look, Tyrod doesn't talk that much, but when he does, it's insightful. He'll pull him aside, give him little bits of information that are very helpful for Mayfield as he navigates his way through playing quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, and he can go to the sidelines and talk to Tyrod, but also with Stanton, who Stanton is looking at coverages, so he can give him an idea of what he saw on first down or what he saw on a passing down.
2nd and 8 here for Cleveland. We're down to 7:32 to play in the first half. Pittsburgh leads the Browns 7-6. Mayfield incomplete, knocked away by Mike Hilton. And congratulations to Mike Hilton. He got married during the bye. His new wife, Chastity, all the best. Intended receiver was Ratley.
Really great timing and awareness. As that left hand is there on the back, but not grabbing or twisting the receiver. The right hand goes out in front of Ratley for the knockdown.
And a dime package here for Pittsburgh on 3rd and 8. Mayfield airs it out. Sideline. Intercepted. Joe Hayden. Perfectly played. Ratley the intended target, and the Browns turn it over.
First pick of the year for Hayden. Number 21 in his career. But he ran this route for Ratley, really. Tremendous position here, then high points the ball.
Joe Hayden made the Pro Bowl twice as a member of the Browns. Now he's making plays against them in a tight one. Joe Hayden getting a lot of love on the sideline. His first career interception against his former team. And the Steelers get the football. You like this look today from the Steelers? 1978 throwback uniforms?
Yeah, you know, Mike Wagner, number 23, the great safety for the Steelers.
Roethlisberger, handoff to Connor. Connor bangs his way to the 19. That's a 6-yard run.
Well, look at the awareness of Hayden knowing exactly where the receiver was, pins him to the sideline, and just outleaps him for that ball. Slightly underthrown by Mayfield. As you can see, the adjustment Ratley tried to make.
Pittsburgh with 6:45 remaining in this first half. They lead it by 1, and they face a 2nd and 4. Crowd there to greet Connor, and a flag thrown. Connor picks up a yard. Penalty marker tossed at the 24. 3 penalties on each team so far.
Holding. Number 73. Offense. Half the distance to the goal. 2nd down.
That is Ramon Foster on the left side of the Pittsburgh line. And when we talked to Cleveland head coach Hugh Jackson about taking on the Steelers and having success against them, he said, look, there's no secret sauce against Pittsburgh. We need to be more physical than they are, and our guys are not intimidated by the Steelers.
And I think that's instilled by Greg Williams, obviously, defensively, and that's reflected in the number of times they've been able to take away the ball from their opponents.
2nd and 13, short toss, Connor finds open space, and Connor gets right to the marker. Good block by Foster. They may mark him a bit shy.
Little screen pass. They invite Myles Garrett up the field, and then these good moves here. Smart play there that time by Jesse James, not blocking in the back, and he may have gotten all the way to the 1st down line.
Yeah, I thought he did on the live look. They call him short. It's 3rd and less than a yard. Will Ben sneak it for Todd Haley? He will. Todd mentioned that this week when asked about Ben Roethlisberger and the relationship. He said, yeah, I'm sure Ben's working on his sneaks this week.
And it was a smart sneak, too, because he hesitated just a minute and let Pouncey and Foster get into their blocks. You know, and at 6'5" and 250, whatever he weighs nowadays. Easy pickup.
Look, they had a lot of success together, Haley and Roethlisberger. Was it always a smooth road? It was not. Toss it to the outside, and it's Ridley, the veteran. 10 yards and a 1st down. You know, Ben, he doesn't want to get into any kind of back and forth, and it was time for a change. That was the general feeling from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Todd Haley landed on his feet with an OC job with the Cleveland Browns. When we talked to Mike Tomlin about it, he said, look, facing Haley, it's a little different because he's got a rookie QB, and there's probably a limit on the things that he would do normally. Roethlisberger throws. And Smith-Schuster secures it. Brian Body Calhoun in there. 6-yard gain through the air.
And a good throw by Ben. Nice and low, so Body Calhoun will have trouble getting the ball, getting through Juju Smith-Schuster to knock it away.
2nd and 4. We are under 4 minutes to go in this second quarter. Ridley remains in there. Roethlisberger to the outside. Justin Hunter extending. We'll see where they spot the football. TJ Carey out on the perimeter defensively.
Now remember, Hunter is 6'4", and he's well aware of what he needs for the first down, and that stretch there should be just a couple of inches short.
Oof.
A yellow line, of course, is not official. If it was, that'd be a first down.
And again, it's 3rd and inches for Pittsburgh.
And your quarterback sneak again. Browns look like they're piling up right in the middle to prevent it.
Tight formation. Roethlisberger. Yeah, he gets it and then some.
He fumbled.
He saw it. A crowd around him, and there was a reaction at the end of the play. Ben Roethlisberger cut towards the right. The Browns claim they've got the football. They're going to peel off the pile.
Still no signal.
And there it is.
Finally.
Cleveland takes over. Roethlisberger coughs it up on a quarterback sneak.
Now, the question, was he down? Yeah, he was down. Ball ripped out smartly by TJ Carey.
Well, all turnovers are reviewed. So this one will be looked at. TJ Carey came away with it.
Yeah, his shin was down, his knee was down, his wallet was down.
The ruling on the field
It's
is
a large
fumble
wallet.
recovered by the defense. That ruling is under review.
Yeah, I mean, that looks
Not even close.
fairly obvious.
Smart play by Ben, though. Remember the first sneak, he went behind Foster and Pouncey on the left side. This time he drops in behind the anchor, Matt Filer.
Yeah, Carey knocked it away right at the end, and Ben was trying to get in there as Carey then jumped on top. Now, this would look to be an open and shut case.
And even if it were a fumble, Roethlisberger had possession when Carey made contact
Yeah.
when Roethlisberger's on the ground.
Ruling on the field, recovered by Cleveland on a cough up by Roethlisberger. They've shown it now a few times on the big screen, so the crowd got to see it. Tomlin has seen it. Carl Cheffers taking a look. And we know in New York, they are also reviewing.
Really?
That's part of it. Roethlisberger is down there and still had the ball. Then it comes out. Ben got his hand on it, and that's when the crowd piled up on top of him, and Carey ended up with a football.
After review, the runner was down with control of the ball. Beyond the line of the game. It is a first down, Pittsburgh.
So the quarterback sneak is successful in the stat sheet. Steelers offense stays on the field.
This shows you the versatility of Ben on the sneak. One time left, one time right, both resulting in first downs.
Roethlisberger has 113 yards through the air, a touchdown and a pick. He's 11 of 15. On pace for 5,421 yards this season. That would be third all time.
Yeah, behind Peyton Manning and Drew Brees.
And ahead of Tom Brady.
Pretty good company.
3 minutes to go. First half. Motion man Switzer. Run to Connor. Into Cleveland territory for a gain of 4. Jannard Avery, another one of those young, hungry defensive players for Cleveland, in on the stop.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
So the plays in opponent territory, Cleveland has had 16. Pittsburgh has had 1, and it went for a touchdown. This will be play number 2 for Pittsburgh on Cleveland's end of the field. Roethlisberger has the time. Battle for it. Broke it up. Carey looked like he had a chance at the INT. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver for Pittsburgh. And a flag on the far side at the 41. Brown and Ward got into it.
Holding, number 21, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
And it's the confident 21-year-old Denzel Ward called on the penalty.
Yeah, that's a penalty. Grabbed the jersey, forced him out of bounds.
And you asked Ward, do you like press? He likes press.
Yeah, but he's pressing against one of the quickest, if not the quickest, wide receivers in the game of getting off the press.
He said you have to remain patient, let them declare what they're going to do. Yeah, Roethlisberger tosses it into the ground. Flag down. Jannard Avery.
Neutral zone infraction, number 55, defense.
The jump.
5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Let's send it downstairs. Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, just a quick add to the Ward conversation. I've been following those two throughout these first 2 quarters. Ward's followed him a lot of this game. You can sense the confidence. Look, Brown's gotten them and probably will get them, but the smiles keep popping up. This kid likes this moment, it's clear.
And Ward has been really impressive. 4th overall pick out of Ohio State. Major speed. He's physical.
Hey, 5-1, 5-1.
And he's been a ball hawk.
And he's coming up in press now.
1st and 5. That didn't fool the Browns. Roethlisberger gives it to Connor on a little bit of a delay. Ogba was in there for Cleveland. That'll take us down to the 2-minute warning. In Pittsburgh, the Steelers holding on to a 7-6 lead on the Browns. More second quarter action coming up.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FedEx. Possibilities, what we deliver by delivering. And by Wendy's new Sawsome Bacon Classic Cheeseburger.
Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JB, the rest of the gang in New York. Latest NFL scores and highlights all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. 10th play of the drive for Pittsburgh, 2nd and 8 with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Roethlisberger sets, throws, it's complete. Juju Smith-Schuster for a first down. On the line from Roethlisberger.
That was a blitz, so that's man-to-man coverage with C.J. Carey. The back shoulder throw, the most difficult pass to defend as a corner. This one goes for 19 for number 19.
And that's 3 catches for 30 yards for Smith-Schuster. Smith-Schuster has now gone over the 1,500-yard mark for his career. Youngest player to do it. Zigzag move. James Conner. Good block from DeCastro. 10-yard pickup. Juju Smith-Schuster, 21 years, 340 days on earth. And the youngest to crack the 1,500-yard plateau. Larry Fitzgerald previously had the honors.
21 years old.
Yep.
Amazing. He plays like he's been in the league for 10 years.
He's 21. Denzel Ward is 21. 1:18 to play. Connor. Beautiful spin inside the 10. Jamie Collins Sr. with the stop for Cleveland. 5-yard pickup.
Let's watch the pulling guard, Ramon Foster, here this time as he gets Connor with the block there on Avery. Just enough to get him across the 10-yard line.
2nd and 5. Steelers can still get another first down. 48 seconds left. They're inside the 10. Connor has been a touchdown machine. It's Connor. The spin gets him just shy of the 5. Jabril Peppers there defensively for Cleveland. And a timeout taken by the Steelers stops the clock with 35 seconds to go in this first half. And another reminder, Verizon Halftime Report is coming up. JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, Coach Coward. Latest NFL scores and highlights all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report.
And after kind of a rocky start for Roethlisberger, he's now 12 of 16, but more importantly, he's hit his last 7 in a row.
Well, that Cincinnati game, they get the game winner to Antonio Brown. Roethlisberger, when we asked him about it, said, I knew when we lined up it was going to be a game-winning touchdown. Just the way that things set up.
You saw the adjustment to the motion and the fact that he had press coverage on Justin Hunter. This looks like a running formation, though, with Nix at fullback.
3rd and 2. Connor goes down in a crowd. And now the only question will be, is it enough for a first down? Kirksey makes the play for Cleveland. We're down to 22 seconds left. Clock is still rolling. 15 seconds left.
Yeah, the clock's really not a problem here. Question is, do you go for it on 4th or do you bring out the field goal team? And as good as the Steelers are at 2-point conversions where they're 3 for 3, they practice this type of situation from day one of camp. Whether it's a 2-point or a short yardage down by the goal line, they know exactly what they want to do, and it appears the personnel coming into the game, wide receivers and Vance McDonald, Roethlisberger coming over to get the last word. They're going to go for it on 4th down.
So 4th down, 15 seconds left. Roethlisberger asking the crowd to quiet down. Roethlisberger, fake it, toss underneath. Smith-Schuster is brought down, but now it's a question of time. He does get the first down. T.J. Carey saved the touchdown. And a timeout called with 8 seconds remaining.
Just a great tackle by Carey. Ball thrown high, so Smith-Schuster had to leave his feet. Once you do that, you lose all power to break that tackle or to pull Carey into the end zone.
They tack 2 more seconds on, so 10 seconds left now, but the Steelers have no timeouts remaining. This is normally an area where they might look to run it. You can't take that chance and get stacked up. Brown on the outside, McDonald off the line. Roethlisberger to Brown for the touchdown. The Steelers put points on the board before we hit the break.
Yeah, we've seen this one before. His 9th straight completion, and it's basically a screen pass outside with blockers out in front. Hunter and Smith-Schuster, quick throw, and straight up the field and into the end zone. Ball was almost intercepted. Looked like Kirksey may have had a shot at it. No, on the outside, it was the corner. Really close to being picked off.
So Boswell tacks on the extra point. Keep in mind, Pittsburgh got the ball off the interception with 7:20 to go. Hayden with the pick. They go 16 plays, 87 yards. They basically use all of the clock, and they cash in on the 2nd touchdown of the day. Ben to Brown.
Demarius Brown, the ball goes, Demarius Randall rather, number 23. Looked like the ball went right by his fingertips. If he picks it off, it's 6 the other way.
But Roethlisberger zings it in there to Brown.
Really well conceived and executed, but so close for the Browns.
So Demarius Randall, who has had to play some corner and safety based on injuries and needs. Randall came over in a deal with Green Bay. Denzel Ward told us that Randall has been a perfect mentor for him. Extra film study, watching at Randall's place, and pointers on how to be a pro. Right now, the bigger picture, though, for Cleveland is they're down 14-6. Again, not being able to generate touchdowns. They have not been able to manufacture points from this offense in first halves this season.
That was a heck of a drive after the interception by Joe Hayden. But Mayfield has been under constant pressure as he anticipated. The pass protection has got to improve in the second half for Mayfield and the Browns.
So, 8 seconds left at the 25. You'd think they'd just take a knee, but they're going to give it to Chubb. And that's how the half will end. The Steelers with a 14-6 advantage on the Cleveland Browns as we hit the break at Heinz Field. Halftime is next after these first half highlights from Verizon and a word from your local station. Steelers in front, 14-6 on the Browns. Second half action here in Pittsburgh, 14-6. The Steelers in front of the Browns. Iron Eagle, Hall of Famer Dan Fouts, Evan Washburn down on the sidelines. This has been a very familiar script for Cleveland. Opportunities, but not taking advantage of them. Settling for field goals. They haven't been able to score touchdowns consistently in the first half. Pittsburgh didn't play very well in that first quarter. They slept through it coming off the bye, yet they took a 7-6 lead, then built on it after the turnover, the Hayden interception.
Well, and the confidence level between the two teams obviously is huge. With Roethlisberger operating at the end of a half, it seems like the Steelers find a way to get into the end zone, as they did. But not capitalizing on a sleepy Steeler team in that first quarter. As you said, Ian, settling for field goals, that proved very costly for the Browns.
14 straight home wins over the Browns. The last loss at home to Cleveland was October of 2003 with Tommy Maddox at quarterback. Joseph kicks it off. He missed a field goal that would have made it 9-0, and the Steelers will have it at the 25. Let's check in with Evan Washburn.
What's up, Ian? Let's start with Mike Tomlin, what he saw from that first half. He feels like defensively, everything's pretty good, but they've got to keep Baker Mayfield in the pocket. He feels like every time he gets outside the pocket, that's when he has success. The reason for that first quarter, pointing towards penalties, 4 penalties in that first half. As for Hugh Jackson, you've got to take some shots, try and get in the end zone, and make a play when it's there. And lastly, guys, keep an eye on this defense. They could get tired in this second half. They have played so many snaps through the first 7 weeks, and that was a long drive going into halftime.
All right, Evan, problems for Pittsburgh in first quarters this season. They've been much better in second and third quarters, and then fourth quarter scoring, they are minus 24. Handoff to Connor, about a half a yard. Halftime numbers, well, for Pittsburgh, 171 total yards. Each team turned it over 1 time, but Pittsburgh took advantage of the Hayden pick and then went down the field in 7 minutes plus, basically used up half of the second quarter.
And to Evan's point, wearing down the defense. Remember, the Browns hopped on a bus yesterday to come here to Pittsburgh, something they always do.
2nd and 9, nickel here for Cleveland defensively. Roethlisberger with time, surveys, throws, deep ball. Antonio Brown cannot haul it in. Demarius Randall got over there for Cleveland.
Well, he got his right hand on it. Would have been an unbelievable catch here. A good job by Randall chasing him down and then knocking it out as he's trying to pull it into his body.
And this field gets beat up over the course of a weekend when the Pitt Panthers are in action, and they were yesterday. They come from behind win against Duke.
Right here, 5-8.
3rd and 9 now for the Steelers. Roethlisberger squeezes it into Vance McDonald. McDonald runs over Kindred in the process. It's a first down. 22 yards for the Steelers.
Yeah, and Christian Kirksey's got pretty good coverage on him. We can see Roethlisberger going to him all the way, Kirksey on his hip. And now just trampling Cleveland Browns.
Line of scrimmage is now the 48. Second catch for McDonald.
There we go.
Just underway here in the second half. Roethlisberger dumps it. Connor dishes out some contact out across the 40-yard line for a first down. Hey, Dan, at the end of the first half, just keep an eye on this. A key play. This was a 3rd and 2. Connor got slammed down at the 5. But when they set up for 4th down, they placed the football inside the 4. That's a combination of the down judge and the line judge that have to make that call. They obviously gave Pittsburgh a little extra yardage there. Steelers ended up throwing on the next down, a first down to Juju Smith-Schuster. Eventually got the touchdown to Brown. But just something to keep an eye on here. Roethlisberger, incomplete.
Yeah, Roethlisberger just grounding that ball when he saw he didn't have what he wanted. But you're right about the officials on that play. Remember, Hugo Cruz was fired this last week. He's the down judge with this crew of Carl Sheffers. His replacement, Mike Spanier, was involved in that mismark.
2nd and 10 for Pittsburgh. Inside the Cleveland 40. Roethlisberger. Catch and catch to Connor. And that's the part of his game that I'm not sure anybody anticipated. His pass catching skills. Mike Tomlin told us we'd like to get Jalen Samuels some work, but Connor's been so good in this department.
Well, it's the receiving, it's knowing the route. Look at the hands of Connor reaching out away from his body for 13 yards, but he's also solid in pass protection. Roethlisberger had been sacked 1 time today, and that was a long time ago, it seems.
Didn't have a first down in the first quarter. Not a problem in the 2nd and 3rd. Roethlisberger drop ball. It's Ryan Switzer. 2nd and 10 for Pittsburgh.
Now this is a flat drop by Switzer as he gets inside of Body Calhoun there. May have been thinking about what do you do with it after I catch it. Took his eye off it.
Ridley is now in there. He flanks Roethlisberger on a 2nd and 10.
Lenny.
Steelers up by 8 on the Browns. Roethlisberger floats it up. Caught by Ridley, and the ball is loose. Scooped up. Denzel Ward slammed down.
Well, Derek Kindred with a big play to strip the ball from Ridley.
The ruling on the field is a catch. Subsequent fumble. Recovered by the defense. First down, Cleveland.
Great hustle by Kindred as he was beat on the play but caught up and stripped the ball. And the Browns have a huge and very timely turnover.
All right, the ruling on the field was a catch and a fumble. In a moment, we're going to bring in our rules analyst, Gene Steratore, because this play was not even reviewed, even though it was a turnover. Handoff to Chubb, and Chubb cuts it upfield for another solid game. All right, Gene, what did you see on this play? Take us through this play from your vantage point.
Let's go through the elements. Possession, 2 feet, and then a football move in that sequence. So when we have possession, once the second foot is down, we either have to have a 3rd step or a time element that can allow a football move. So there's 1, 2, and then the minute that the second foot hits, it appears to me the football gets knocked out. So we don't have a 3rd step or a time element there.
Bud Dupree, part of the wall that Chubb got stacked up on.
But aren't all turnovers reviewed regardless?
They are, Dan. They are all reviewed internally upstairs because it's a change of possession. Now, philosophically, from the league standpoint, he does show the first 2 elements of that. If the 3rd one doesn't jump off of the screen like something egregiously missed, it seems that they're going with the ruling on the field unless something very egregious after that occurs where they would overturn that.
Yeah, it seemed like it was egregious enough for you to disagree with it.
Gene, thanks. Outstanding stuff. 3rd and 9. too high on a pass from Mayfield, looking for Jarvis Landry, who's been held in check. 3 catches, 24 yards for Landry, and a very quick 3 and out for the Browns offense.
And in talking to Landry about Mayfield, the adjustment that he's had to make is in the speed of the ball that Mayfield delivers. That ball just zinged right by Landry before he could even get his hands up.
So Britton Colquitt will punt it. Ryan Switzer, the return man, averaging 10 yards a return. Pressure there. Colquitt goes down. Switzer backpedals from the 24. And tripped up from behind. He'll come up just shy of the 35. 45-yard punt, a 9-yard return. Another special teams tackle made by Vallejo. Colquitt got some contact, but it might have been from his own man. It was.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Just for Men. Be the better man and look the part. M&M's, always fun. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Well, the Browns have 8 takeaways in 2 games against Pittsburgh this season. It was a tie in week 1 here in week 8. They trail 14-6. First down play fake. Roethlisberger throws it. Complete at midfield. He's feeding it to Vance McDonald. That one covers 18 yards. They're in Cleveland territory. Covered from Jabril Peppers.
He gives this Steeler offense a big target and then a dangerous ball carrier after the catch. But his comfortability right now with Roethlisberger, very obvious.
Well, he's a vertical threat. And the fact that Roethlisberger told us that they're going to use him on the outside. They like that matchup once the defense declares. Connor running inside.
Almost a missed handoff.
1.5 yards on the carry for Connor. Let's go to New York. Nate Burleson.
Pat Mahomes already with 2 TDs, and this makes 3. He's on fire. Sammy Watkins, second TD of the game. That's 25 touchdowns this season. KC, they lead 23-14. Ian, Dan, back to you.
Yeah, prolific, Nate. This Kansas City machine is running on all cylinders. And Mahomes is a special talent. We had a chance to see him the first couple of weeks. Steelers saw him up close and personal week 2. Roethlisberger, timing route. Juju Smith-Schuster. And it's too high. TJ Carey in coverage for Cleveland.
A lot of hand fighting here at the end of this one. Smith-Schuster fighting through there. A lot of grabbing there. That's pass interference on Carey as he was holding Smith-Schuster almost all the way down the field. May have been ruled that that ball was uncatchable as it sailed out of bounds.
Well, you look at the trends for Cleveland. They've scored more points as the game goes on. First quarter, lowest scoring quarter. Second quarter, second lowest. Third, and then fourth. But they have to get the football to score. 3rd and 8. Justin Hunter had some room, and Roethlisberger was looking for the deep shot. It's 4th down.
Well, Hunter has a couple of catches on the day. This was a home run shot here, working against TJ Carey.
(19 of 28, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Punt here for the Aussie, Jordan Berry. Peppers gets out of the way, hoping that this one's going to roll to the end zone. It will not. Settles in at the 4. Browns will be deep in their own territory. Well-placed Berry punt of 42 yards. 8:52 to play in the 3rd. Steelers up on Cleveland. Now this is a Cleveland offense that is ranked 22nd overall, 23rd in scoring. Well, they have mustered Just 153 yards total today, and they've been held to 6 points. Give us to Chubb. Bud Dupree, first man there. It's a 1-yard pickup for Chubb. Possessions for the Browns open up with a field goal on a long drive, 11 plays, 66 yards. But after that, they went 3 and out. They got another field goal, missed a field goal, and then it's been a real struggle offensively for Cleveland. Todd Haley, first year calling the plays for the Browns, brought over during the offseason after he lost his offensive coordinator position with Pittsburgh. Mayfield will throw with flags down. He hits Chubb. But we might have a safety here. If that was a hold in the end zone.
Absolutely. And it may be on the rookie, Desmond Harrison. Has Bud Dupree coming on the blitz.
Holding number 69. Offense. That foul occurred in the end zone. Safety.
That put 2 on the board for Pittsburgh.
Watch number 48 right there. There's the hold in the end zone. Penalty in the end zone on the offense. Results in 2 points.
Undrafted free agent Desmond Harrison called for the hold, and Pittsburgh now leads it 16-6.
And I don't understand is why they're not giving Harrison some help on that weak side. He's there all alone working on Dupree. Dupree has been in the backfield a lot today, and he has to hold, or Mayfield would have gotten sacked for a safety.
So that is 6 penalties against Cleveland, none more costly than that. But the Steelers now in front, 16-6 on the Browns. .807 to go in the third. Now Cleveland gets the free kick with Britton Colquitt.
Get your tarp.
And the Browns have not been able to get out of their own way after showing some promise early in this game. Why did he let it roll?
I'll tell you why. It's because Nick signaled for the fair catch.
So a miscommunication there. Switzer and Brown were not on the same page.
Cost him about 20 yards. There's the fair catch signal by Nix.
So Roosevelt Nix. Is that considered a live ball is the question.
Yes, it is. It's a free kick, and if the Browns recovered, it's their ball.
And the Browns have it. What a sequence. Cleveland gives up a sack on a penalty in the end zone.
A safety kick is a free kick.
For a safety.
The kicking team is free to recover that ball, which they did. It'll be first down Cleveland.
Unbelievable.
And then the free kick, the Steelers back off it because a fair catch was called for, and then Nix got out of the way.
And so did Switzer.
And that ball rolls.
And they could have picked it up and taken it into the end zone.
Yeah, Steelers never touched him. Everybody just walked away at that point.
How many games have you done in your life?
Hundreds.
Hundreds. Thousands, maybe. Have you ever seen
a
free kick off a safety recovered by the kicking team?
Without the kicking team having to do much. Mayfield throws it away.
They're going to get roughing the passer. Big penalty, big mistake by the Steelers. They may get Cameron Hayward for a helmet-to-helmet hit.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 97, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down. The quarterback was out of the pocket and the ball made it beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, so
there
Williams
is no intentional grounding.
Got his arms wrapped around Mayfield as he tossed it, and then Hayward came in lowering the boom.
That's the proper call.
All the momentum was in Pittsburgh's favor. They get the safety.
That looks says it all, doesn't it? What the heck?
Steelers were going to get the football with a 16-6 lead. Instead, Cleveland gets it deep in Pittsburgh territory. The penalty puts them deeper. And now with 8:01 to go in the third, the Browns with a chance to get right back in it. Give it to Chubb.
And we go back to that free kick. You cannot advance a free kick. You can only recover. That's why the Browns just jumped on that ball. But interesting the way that the offense is aligning now. All three tight ends in the game for the Browns on the last couple of running plays. And now they're going to spread them out. Check out Duke Johnson.
2nd and 11 here for Cleveland. Toss it to the outside. Landry works his way through traffic. And picks up 7 in the process. T.J. Watt with the tackle. So Cleveland with a golden chance here. We hit 7 minutes to go in the third.
This is where the Browns have really struggled this year on third downs. Just 2 for 8 today.
Callaway, Landry bunch it to one side. Mayfield looks the other way. End zone. Incomplete, flag thrown. Njoku, the intended target. And there were 2 Steeler defenders wedged around him. Joe Hayden and Terrell Edmonds. Was that a catchable ball?
And they may call holding instead. Njoku still looking for his first catch today.
Pass interference, defense. That foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 1 yard line. Automatic. First down.
And that's pass interference and holding on the rookie Edmonds.
Yep, take your pick. So they'll place the football at the 1. Browns trying to punch it in. What a turn this game has taken. Give it a Chubb. Short. Couldn't drive it into that crowd. No gain on the play.
And the Steelers just beat the Browns at the line of scrimmage with a real quick get off and penetration there. By the time Chubb got the ball, there were Steelers in the backfield waiting for him.
2nd and goal for Cleveland. Shotgun for Mayfield. Mayfield pump. Nowhere to go. Mayfield is sacked. Stephon Tuitt. Powerful. And a flag thrown in the end zone.
Holding. Number 23. Defense. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
It's Joe Hayden.
And again, it was away from the area that Mayfield was looking.
So the ball is once again placed just inside the 1 on a 1st and goal for Cleveland. 10-point lead for the Steelers.
Hey, rip.
Snap it to Mayfield. Mayfield floats it upstairs. It's caught. Callaway, touchdown Browns. Baker Mayfield skies it.
A phenomenal throw by Mayfield under pressure from Bud Dupree. Again, having the confidence that Callaway would beat his man in the end zone here. Look at Dupree with the pressure.
That penalty's declined. Result of the play. Touchdown.
Sensible holding. Callaway can't prevent the touchdown.
An Ephus toss.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield to Antonio Callaway. And the Browns are back. Extra point here for Greg Joseph. Set up after the miscue on the free kick. And he missed it. Joseph off the mark. And the kicking woes that have been a problem for Cleveland now rearing its ugly head again. So the back off by the Steelers. The Browns down it. And then they cap it off with a touchdown on an outstanding grab by Callaway.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. And by State Farm. Here to help life go right.
Pittsburgh 16, Cleveland 12. They get the touchdown but miss the extra point. Greg Joseph just hooked it. And Ryan Switzer, the Steelers fans react after Switzer secures it coming out to the 25. Tonight, Jeff Galore reports live from the scene of the deadly mass shooting here in Pittsburgh on the CBS Evening News. Shooting took place approximately 6 miles from Heinz Field. And our hearts go out to everybody in this community. Steelers fans, we've seen some signs throughout Heinz Field. The heartbreak being felt in this city. Here in the third quarter, Connor, spin move. Connor still going. Connor into Cleveland territory. What a rip! The tackle eventually made by Randall. 30 yards for Connor.
Now that matches his season long, and he shows you everything he's got on this one. Gets in behind DeCastro, the spin move right there. Now the stiff arm, and a little bit of speed getting down the sideline. This is what we've seen out of him a lot lately, is the ability to make the first guy miss with a really super spin move.
It was Kindred on the whiff. It would have been a 5-yard gain. It turns into a 30-yard gain. And they give it to their workhorse again. Connor dances inside the 30.
Now let's check out the anchor, Matt Filers. He's going to pull on this play. But you know what this looked like? It looked like Le'Veon Bell with this hesitation right there. Setting up the block of Filer and then getting to the next level. 16 yards after the 30-yarder.
Connor said that Le'Veon Bell texts him throughout the game after big plays. He'll come back to his phone and find a stream of texts. That appears to be among the only communication between the Steelers and Bell. Connor looks up to Bell, said he's been a great influence on him. 2-yard pickup for Connor. How that situation is going to play out is still anybody's guess. And when you sit down with the Steelers, they've moved on. Their players, their coach, not to say that Bell won't be here, he probably will, but they're operating under the idea that this is who they've got in their locker room.
And I think they moved on quickly. Remember, Connor, first game, 31 carries for 135 yards against the Browns.
So they get Connor a rest. Jalen Samuels is in. Remember, Ridley had the fumble after the catch, and Roethlisberger will take a timeout. First timeout called by Pittsburgh with 3:23 to go in third. They'll face a 2nd and 8. 16-12, Pittsburgh in front of Cleveland. CBS's Super Bowl season continues next Sunday. Bitter rivalry between Pittsburgh and Baltimore will be there for that one. Plus, the Browns host Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. The Jets head to Miami. Seattle welcomes the Chargers, or Houston takes on Denver. Check your local listings. Kick off your day with the NFL Today at 12 Eastern here on CBS. "24 consecutive road losses for the Browns. That's 2 shy of the all-time record held by Detroit from 07 to 2010. Last road win was 3 years ago. Roethlisberger. Connection to Antonio Brown. Randall hit him along the sideline. 15 yards and a first down for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the body control, going high to get it, and then getting his feet down as he absorbs the hit from Randall. But there's no pass rush at all on Roethlisberger. So he has time to find his star receiver down the field.
First down at the 12. Connor back in there. Steelers trying to answer. Connor to the outside. Turns the corner. Connor to the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Conner continues to produce for Pittsburgh.
Yes, 5 plays, 75 yards, 4 of them rushing plays to Connor. Watch how he just sheds the tackle right there of Randall and has the speed to get to the corner of the end zone. Blocking on the outside on the rookie is Antonio Brown. He does a super job. We've seen Connor spin out of tackles. That time he broke one.
Extra point from Boswell is straight through. And the Steelers in front, 23-12 with 2:42 remaining in the third quarter. Well, for James Conner, you're talking about rarefied air in Pittsburgh lore. First 7 games played in a season. Franco Harris had 9 touchdowns in 1976 in those first 7. Bettis with 8 in 2004. There's Conner topping Barry Foster from 93.
If he keeps going at this pace, he'll have a statue at the airport.
I saw that when we landed, Franco.
That ball never touched the ground, did it?
No. So they say. Immaculate reception. Conner has the highest percentage of his team's rushing yards in the league. 85% of the yards on the ground for Pittsburgh have come from James Conner. Now you're talking about Le'Veon Bell, one of the supreme talents in the league. Let's not diminish what Bell has meant to this football team, but the way that Conner has stepped in has been incredible. Peppers gets hit hard as he crossed the 20-yard line.
Yeah, the common denominator is that offensive line coached by the Hall of Famer Mike Munchak. The job they've been able to do adjusting to the running style of Conner, which is totally opposite, except for that one play in this drive, of Le'Veon Bell. Both effective, obviously.
And they've looked like an elite group again. Pittsburgh had a tremendous reputation built over a number of years. Mike Munchak does outstanding work, former head coach in Tennessee. But now, the last few games, they've looked like one of the best offensive lines in football. Cleveland trails 23-12. Mayfield is sacked. T.J. Watt continues to run roughshod against the Browns.
But how many times are we going to see a linebacker unblocked? Here's another time. Playing defensive end that time is T.J. Watt. And he'll pick up another sack and another one against the Browns.
Well, left side where he is comfortable. They made the move during the offseason, moved him from the right to the left, and it's changed his game. He said, more splash plays. I'm just more comfortable there. He's a right-hand dominant player. He's got more moves from the left side. He told us the right side just felt awkward for him.
And the move benefited Bud Dupree as well.
They run it to Chubb. And Chubb gets stacked up with a flag down. Brought down at the 18-yard line by Hayward.
Holding, number 69, offense. That penalty's declined. Third down.
So they turn it down. And let's check in with Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, as this offensive line tries to protect Baker Mayfield, keep an eye on J.C. Tretter, the center. He's been dealing with a high ankle sprain, that left ankle. He's in serious pain trying to hold up. One other note, guys, there's a serious rain band and storm that's right on the edge here. It could be affecting the end of this game.
All right, Evan. Not only checking things out on the sideline, but apparently travels with a Doppler. 1:27 to go in the third. Mayfield, 3rd and 14, harassed, and he tosses it out of bounds. Watt and Tuitt.
That has to be intentional grounding. Nobody in the area. Was he out of the tackle box is a question. It's just been this way all day. The pressure forces him out of the pocket.
Yeah, he got out of there, but the Browns have to punt. And it's Colquitt deep in his own territory. Switzer should have an opportunity here. Angles this one. Fair catch. Not going to take any chances. And the Steelers will have it at the 45-yard line after the 38-yard punt. Watt was hobbling a bit as he made his way to the Pittsburgh sideline. Next Saturday, the SEC on CBS features an SEC East showdown. Georgia at Kentucky, 3:30 Eastern. Then, in primetime, the top teams in the country collide. Number 1 Alabama battles 4th-ranked LSU. It's the best teams in the best conference. The college pregames kick off today beginning at 2:30 Eastern here on CBS. TJ Watt, he's limping there noticeably, but no athletic training staff member has come over, so Watt appears to be okay. Steelers have it at their own 45, 1:15 to go in the third. Play action. Roethlisberger flips it out to Connor. Oh, the shake and bait move by Connor. And a first down in Cleveland territory, down at the 41, hit by Denzel Ward. 15 yards for Connor.
Well, he had 5 catches in the first game for 57 yards. He's got 4 for 54 yards now. And after the play fake, the Browns totally lose Connor as he slips out of the backfield for a big gain.
20 first downs for the Steelers since the first quarter when they had 0. Chance of Connor. Roethlisberger couldn't handle the snap and then tosses it in the area of Antonio Brown. Myles Garrett there to greet Roethlisberger.
Now, a big afternoon for James Conner as an outlet receiver for Big Ben. Isolated on the linebacker and then rushing 16 times, just 4 yards shy of 100.
25 seconds to go in the third. 2nd and 10 for the Steelers. Dump it to Connor. Connor angles to the outside for a first down. Another tackle by Ward.
Well, he's really putting on a display because he's stepping out of tackles and then powering defenders. Another 13 yards for James Conner.
And to the third quarter with the Steelers leading at 23-12 over the Browns. We'll come back to Pittsburgh after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, the home of Super Bowl 53. Baker Mayfield's first Heinz Field experience. His team is down 23-12 to start the fourth quarter.
Middle.
And the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the Cleveland 28. Roethlisberger throws. Another big target, Jesse James. Solid gain of 6 for Pittsburgh.
That's 7 different receivers now that Roethlisberger has gone to. First catch for James. And a pretty good 1-2 combination at that tight end spot with McDonald and James.
Connor has 16 carries, 96 yards, and a touchdown. He's got 5 catches for 66 yards. So he's over 160 in combined yards today. 2nd and 4. They give it to Connor. And Connor is chopped down by Jamie Collins. So he was able to cut through 2 defenders, but Collins was waiting for him.
Yeah, he was trying to put the spin move on Collins. The spin move been so good to him today. But you check out number 51 right there, and he wraps him up, takes him down. Leading tackler for the Browns on the year. Switching to middle linebacker for Greg Williams this afternoon.
And a loss of 2. They've been playing without Joe Schobert, and that's a big hit. been a playmaker for this Cleveland defense. Schobert out with a hamstring issue. 3rd and 6. Roethlisberger. End zone. Too high, even for the tall Hunter. Buddy Calhoun with the coverage, and Hunter was looking for a flag.
Oh, Buddy Calhoun is 5'9", Hunter 6'4". Smart choice by Ben. A little bit of contact there, but Hunter kind of just turned his body and stopped running. You can see where Ben threw the ball. He expected him to keep running. He wanted to take advantage of that huge height advantage.
So a 42-yard attempt for Chris Boswell. This is the end of the field where kickers have had problems. Boswell's long on the year is 39. This would be the new long. And he knocks it through. Steelers take a 26-12 lead. We are early in the 4th. Browns have been held to 5 total yards in the second half. Pittsburgh has rolled out 179 yards since halftime. And the field goal gives Pittsburgh a 26-12 lead. Return man is Hilliard. And he's wrapped up. It's been a long time since Cleveland has won a road game. Now this is what's happened since that last road win. Alabama football, Villanova Hoops, multiple championships for the Warriors and the Penguins. The Giants, the Knicks, and the Suns have all had 4 head coaches. The Indians have won the AL Central title 3 times. The Cavaliers have gone to the NBA Finals 3 times. And for our broadcast associate Dan Obermuller, he got to see 4 Star Wars movies and 8 Marvel movies released. He loves going to the cinema. That was his own personal tip. Pass to the outside, Landry, and the Steelers back off after it was whistled dead.
Yeah, great read by Joe Hayden. That was a real dangerous pass because Hayden was right in the hip pocket of Landry.
So a loss of 1 on the play. Baker Mayfield has 98 yards passing on 13 of 24. Nothing going downfield.
He's only been sacked once, but it seems like he's running for his life on almost every pass attempt.
The Browns have allowed the most sacks in the NFL this season. Mayfield checks it down to Chubb. And Chubb takes a wallop as he crossed the 30-yard line from Sean Davis.
And you go back to the start of the game when Duke Johnson was such an important part of the offense, caught the first 2 passes of the game and kind of came up lame, looked like he bruised a thigh. And has not been much of a factor since then.
Yep, Johnson has 2 carries, no yards, 2 catches, 16 yards. Johnson is in there now on a 3rd and 3 for Cleveland. Johnson is blocking. Mayfield looking. Mayfield tosses it from his knee. It's intercepted. Picked off Cody Sensabaugh, fumbles the ball.
They're going to say that Mayfield was down.
And Mayfield is banged up.
Carl Sheffers came in and was pointing to the ground.
Stephon Tuitt got to him. He threw it from his knee, so the pass is not allowed. Let's see the timing there. Both knees down, and the ball was still in his hand.
That'll go down as a sack for big number 91. 6'6", 300 pounds, and tremendous athlete as he dives for Mayfield.
So another punt for Colquitt. Switzer gets a block. Circles to the outside. Switzer veers out of bounds across the 40-yard line. 12-yard return. Steelers are in control with 11 minutes to play. They put pressure on young Baker Mayfield. And Mayfield was fortunate that they ruled it a sack. The rain has started here in the Berg.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925. United States Air Force. Experience more at airforce.com. And by Verizon. The best unlimited is on Verizon, America's most awarded network.
Images from the Heinz History Center. Nice stop to make if you're here in Pittsburgh. The rain is now really coming down. Roethlisberger puts it upstairs. Jesse James, an over-the-shoulder grab for 3.
There's a couple of times today that Ben has gone to his eephus pitch, huh?
It's effective. Tyrod Taylor was tossing the ball around during that break in the action. He's got a helmet on and he's got a poncho on.
And he's looking at the pad, so I would expect him to be coming into the game in relief of Mayfield.
Yeah, Mayfield, who has gotten knocked around here in his first trip to Heinz Field. Connor spun down. Brings up 3rd down. Let's check in with Evan.
Yeah, guys, on that front, as you mentioned, Tyrod was taking some warm-up snaps and throws, but the good news is no athletic trainers around Baker Mayfield right now. He's taking a beating, as you mentioned, in this second half. He was very slow to get up after that last sack, but again, no trainers around him. But Tyrod may be finishing this game more out of protection than anything from Mayfield.
All right, Evan, we are under 10 minutes to play here. 3rd and 8 for the Steelers. They've got a 2-touchdown lead on the Browns. Rivalry that goes back to 1950. Roethlisberger knocked away, tried to get it to Brown, and Denzel Ward with the anticipation and a big smile on Ward's face. They've been exchanging pleasantries throughout the day.
Yeah, going back to what Evan was talking about with Mayfield being in pain. He's in pain there because he's getting sacked. And then he grabs his shoulder. It's been relentless pressure on Mayfield all day.
Jordan Berry will punt it. High kick. Peppers settles under it, and he brings it into the 15-yard line. And a flag thrown.
A tough thing for these punt returners. They're
Holding,
looking up
number 27.
into the rain.
Return team, half the distance of the goal. 1st down, timeout.
And Mayfield's got his helmet on. He's not exiting this game, at least not now. Heavy showers in the forecast here in Pittsburgh. The rain now a factor. Where the Steelers leading at 26-12. Cleveland has the ball. And Baker Mayfield remains in at quarterback. Give it to Chubb. Nick Chubb hard running across the 15 and rolls right towards that 1st down marker. Hayward and Edmonds collaborate on the tackle. And they will give him the 1st down. Chubb again. Cuts to the outside. Chubb is brought down from down low. T.J. Watt.
That's a heck of a tackle by Watt because he was double teamed. Had to run behind the blockers and dive at the legs of Chubb. Interesting, after the 10-yard gain, they go right to the line of scrimmage to run a play, hurry things up. After that play, they go back and huddle.
2nd and 8 for Cleveland. Chubb has 65 yards on the ground. And another 8 through the air. Get rid of it quickly on the outside. Landry. Well, they are blanketing Jarvis Landry, so even if he makes a catch, he's got no room to work with. It's a loss of 1 on the play.
Yeah, he's got 6 catches, but for just 29 yards. Hayden doing a great job. And that little dance there that Landry was trying to do was mirrored perfectly by Hayden.
Young wide receiver room with Landry. He said he's just trying to set the standard of how it's supposed to be in this league. But he did say, first and foremost, I got to make sure I'm doing my job consistently well. Mayfield off target, looking for Landry. It's 4th down.
That may have been a case of the ball just slipping out of his hands because Landry had run a real good corner route and had room along the sideline, but the ball woefully overthrown.
It's up Switzer, another opportunity, waiting for it at the 44.
And Mayfield told us he does not like to wear gloves unless it's bitterly cold.
Colquitt lets it fly towards the sideline. Fair catch. And it's brought in at the 35 for Pittsburgh. 46-yard kick.
Well, Mayfield has gone back to pass 27 times today, and this is what he's been facing. Williams with the low shot there, having to spin away from Watt. That was his best play of the game. But he gets back, and by the time he sets his back foot, he's got a lot of company.
You know, we asked him about playing here in Pittsburgh. He said, look, the AFC North, everybody knows it's a physical division. You need a certain mentality. And he said, I'd like to think that I bring an energy and a passion that's made for this division. 7:41 to play. Pittsburgh with the football and a 14-point advantage here in the fourth. Connor cuts to the perimeter. Jamie Collins Sr. with a tackle, and Connor has just hit the 100-yard mark.
It's going to be a steady dose now of Connor as the Steelers looking to run this one out, take time off the clock, and get out of the rain.
So on second down now for Pittsburgh. 21 rushes, 37 passes for the Steelers. They came in ranked 5th in the NFL in total offense, 5th in scoring. Connor brought down just short of the marker.
Following his left guard, Ramon Foster. Watch number big 73 come out here. Myles Garrett taking out Foster with a low block.
Okorafor checks in for Pittsburgh, extra offensive lineman. We have seen Ben sneak it twice in these situations. But Connor slithers through, and the forward progress is right on the line to gain. Price and Collins combined. Clock is still rolling, and it's enough for a first down. Under 6 minutes to play now. Third game with 100 or more rushing yards and 50 or more receiving yards this season. You can't avoid the comparisons with Le'Veon Bell, who did that just once last season.
Two distinct styles, both effective.
Steelers are in the midst of playing 3 straight divisional games with Baltimore on the schedule next week.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Now they lose 5. So you just look at numbers, and that's what they are. With Le'Veon Bell, winning percentage just under a 70% clip. Without him, just under a 70% clip. Their points per game actually up. Their yards per game up. The red zone touchdown percentage is up. Le'Veon Bell is one of the most gifted players in the game, so it's not diminishing his skills. Connor brought down again by Jamie Collins. That's 8 yards, and Connor just keeps piling on the numbers.
Well, he's shown his vision as he takes the draw play and then bounces to the outside again. That little jump cut there. And Collins has to bring him down from behind, but this really the constant pounding that this big offensive line has done today has allowed Connor to have this type of outstanding effort.
Connor has outgained the Cleveland offense, and there's more where that came from. Inside the 40 for Connor, and another Pittsburgh first down. He is gashing the Browns, 13 yards.
Well, it's another draw play. It's just as simple as that. The Browns are, for some reason, being very passive on defense, missing their gap assignments there. And 2 draw plays hitting the exact same spot behind Foster and Villanueva on the left side for Connor.
And now Samuels will get a rep. We are under 4 minutes to play. Hole is there for Samuels. He's the rookie out of NC State, 5th-round draft pick, and another versatile player. Could line him up at a couple different spots.
And Randy Fichtner told me he'd love to get him in there, but circumstances have had obviously Connor in there because of his versatility as a runner and as a pass receiver. But this is a great opportunity for Samuels to get some much needed work.
He's a terrific receiver, all-time leading receiver at NC State.
That fits Fichtner's offense, doesn't it?
2nd and 3. Keeps the legs churning and takes it to the 29. And a timeout taken by Cleveland. Stops the clock with 3:01 left. That's 392 total yards for Pittsburgh today. And Hugh Jackson's team has been limited to 162. Now, how about how all of that played out, Dan, with Hugh Jackson and with Todd Haley? Where do you come in on that? Jackson making comments after last week and how now they work together.
Well, frustration is a terrible thing. It's an emotional game, obviously. These are 2 emotional men, both with offensive backgrounds. And the constant losing just is wearing on Hugh Jackson and on this organization. And so you're going to get that type of response. But as Evan talked about earlier in the game, nothing really changed in the week of preparation leading into this game.
They gave Pittsburgh a 1st down on that run. And Samuels gets it again and picks up a couple on the inside. Let's toss it over to Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, just one other layer to this. When it comes to Hugh Jackson, he's an offensive coordinator at heart. He has called plays for this Browns team up until hiring Todd Haley in the offseason. There was a thought that it would allow him to do more. And he told us last night he has been able to focus more on the defense. But you have to imagine when your back's against the wall, you resort to what it is you've done your entire career.
Well, it's going to pop up again. They have 12 points. They have 162 total yards. And they're going against an excellent Pittsburgh defense on the road, so we understand the circumstances surrounding it. But that storyline isn't going away if the Browns drop to 2-5-1 and lose their 25th consecutive game on the road.
Inability to take advantage of opportunities in that first quarter really doomed the Browns.
2nd and 9. Samuels. Nice move by Samuels, hit by Collins and Kirksey. We're down to 2:44 to play in the 4th. Coming up, State Farm postgame show. JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, Coach Cowher, the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the State Farm postgame show. So a 3rd and 2. Cleveland down to 1 timeout left. And Connor will get back in there on 3rd down. It's Connor for a 1st down. Connor all the way. Touchdown Steelers. The dagger. Get out the camera.
10 plays on that drive, all running plays. 6 for Connor. And this last one running through a demoralized Cleveland defense.
24 carries, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns for Connor, 5 catches for 66 yards. And the extra point goes through. The Pittsburgh Steelers Up big on the Browns with 2:04 to go. And jubilation in Pittsburgh. Dan, the Steelers are cruising.
Now, that was an impressive drive. They accomplished everything they could ask for on it. Pounding the ball, play after play at this Cleveland defense. Taking a lot of time off the clock. 4.5 minutes off the clock. And then getting in the end zone, putting this one away.
Steelers will be looking to win their 3rd straight AFC North title, their 4th in the last 5 years. The win moves them to 4-2-1. And another divisional matchup next week in Baltimore. With a rivalry that has a lot of chapters to it. Most games with 100 or more yards and 2 or more rushing touchdowns. James Conner has joined Franco Harris and Willie Parker on that list. Harris doing it back in 1979. And Conner looks like he belongs in 79 with that uniform he's wearing.
Yeah, the throwback jerseys. The old font. Kind of like that font a little bit better than the present ones, but I was used to seeing it so often. Guys like Joe Green and Jack Lambert.
Were you
at
looking up at it often from your backside? Is that what you're saying?
I know exactly how Baker Mayfield feels.
Yep.
Because of the original Iron Curtain.
2-minute warning. 33-12. It's all Steelers.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Pizza Hut, official pizza sponsor of the NFL. And by Bud Light, reminding you not to drink and ride your horse.
.159 to play. Baker Mayfield had 57 yards passing on the first drive of the day for Cleveland. He's had 50 the rest of the afternoon. Second down. Catch made by Landry. Gets to pad the numbers for 4. Coming up, State Farm postgame show. JB and the rest of the gang back in New York. Latest NFL scores and highlights all coming up on the State Farm postgame show. 3rd and 4 now for Cleveland. Out across the middle, and it's Landry for a first down.
And the Steelers are not backing off on blitzing Mayfield. 2 plays on this drive. They've come at him on both.
Final minute and change. So it's Hilliard. Beautiful spin by Hilliard. Dontrell Hilliard is an undrafted rookie out of Tulane. And that's 23 yards on the hookup. Under a minute left. Cleveland's at the Pittsburgh 39. On the out route, Callaway extending for the grab. And it's a first down. So Pittsburgh improves to 4-2-1 on the season. The Browns drop to 2-5-1. Steelers, slow start to the year. And we've seen a turnaround. But when you ask Mike Tomlin, he says, look, we're still fragile. It's going to take 10, 12 games. That's when you really get to know what you have on your hands, what kind of team you have, what your identity is.
It's kind of like oxymoron, isn't it? The Steelers are fragile.
In context, Mayfield, he had Landry open. Incomplete. And Mayfield a little slow getting up. Bud Dupree put the heat on Mayfield.
And it looked like he was close to being over the line of scrimmage, letting that one go.
Coming up, bonus coverage. Kansas City has got a 30-20 lead on Denver with 1:52 left. Final 41 seconds here. So all part of the learning process for Baker Mayfield. Wasn't the starter to open the season, but They made the change in the Jets game on that Thursday night. Mayfield hits his man, and it's Seth DeValve, the tight end.
You always hear coaches talking about it being a process. Well, it's an accurate word for a young quarterback. He's going to be fine, though. I like the way he competes. I like his fire, I like his arm.
Mayfield's throw is nearly picked off by Joe Hayden. Damian Ratley, the intended target.
Joe Hayden's playing his way to another Pro Bowl, isn't he?
He is. Outstanding season. He told us he's just so comfortable in year 2. He's immersed himself in the Steelers culture. He's felt like he can lead more just being around the guys. And it was a whirlwind when he got dealt last year.
Yeah, but they showed him the love. They grabbed him as soon as he became available. They said, we need you. And he has delivered.
On 4th down, Mayfield, end zone, touchdown. DeValve with 6 seconds left.
That can show you what he can do when he gets pass protection. Watch him step up and fire this one over the top of the safety, Burnett.
He might have gotten a little piece, Burnett, just to change the trajectory of the ball, but there's so much mustard on it. Browns will go for 2. They go 9 plays, 75 yards. A little bit of window dressing for Cleveland.
That was not Grey Poupon either.
No, that's the Hardy stuff. Yellow. DeValve, the intended receiver on that 2-point try. It's incomplete. Burnett with the coverage. And 6 seconds left to play here at Heinz Field. So for Cleveland, they'll be home for Kansas City next, taking on that scary offense. And then home for Atlanta. A couple of home games coming up. Since they came back into the league in 1999, they are now 2-18 in Pittsburgh. This will be 25 consecutive road losses for the Browns. 1 shy of tying the NFL record held by Detroit. So 6 seconds left. Greg Joseph will just kick it off. And Switzer takes a knee. Could have run around and used up the rest of the clock. So the Steelers will come out in victory formation. Ben will not join them there. He's already got the comfortable hat on. And the Steelers get it done. "15 straight wins at home for the Steelers against the Browns. An emotional weekend here in Pittsburgh. Steelers 33, the Browns 18. For Dan Fouts, Evan Washburn, Ian Eagle saying so long from Pittsburgh. Now it's time for the State Farm postgame show as we go to James Brown in New York.